Welcome everyone to the TAPR meeting on May 12th. We have two projects to review today. We'll start with the Salem Lake boat storage building, and then we will do the Bellevue Recreation Center renovations. So I'm going to share my screen here.
Amy?
Yes.
Can I interrupt you? I'm sorry to do this. I've got some little medical issue that's popped up, and I have to walk off to the doctor. I'm not feeling well, but I wanted to sign in and just say I'm sorry, and I'm going to sign back out.
Okay.
So the doctor's office can take me, so I'm walking out the door.
Okay. Well, I hope you feel better.
Thank you.
All right. So Salem Lake Boat Storage Building. So everyone get their bearings. Here's an aerial view. This is Salem Lake Road. Here is the Marina Center. The dam is up here off the screen. And this is the playground area. Just to zoom in a bit, this is the general area where the new storage building is proposed to go here. Just to keep in mind, we have the two utility poles right here that they'll need to be 15 feet out of, just to get your bearings. Here's a shot of the site. I am basically standing in line with those utility poles. I'll just keep moving back out. This is see the little boat entrance there to the lake across the street, and is looking back towards the Marina Center. Here's the overall site plan. Again, we have two power poles right here, 15-foot distance, and here's the proposed building pad, 65.5 feet by 28.5 feet right here. They are proposing a 28 by 66 by 10-foot metal building. And so it'll actually be 14 feet high at its highest peak, but the sides will be 10 feet high, 28 width, and a 66 length. There will be two entrances. They have a roll-up door right here, and then a separate little, the standard entrance door there. And that's just another view of it. And staff did not have any comments or recommendations. So I'll stop sharing. Did y'all have anything you'd like to add with the project that I didn't cover? No. Okay, did CAC members have any comments or anything they'd like to say?
Is that the proposed color, the dark green?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
I think that works well, given, you know, with all the trees around. I think that helps a lot.
Yeah. I went back and forth with this if we should recommend, if I should recommend adding some sort of ornamentation, but I felt, you know, with the dark green color and all those trees around there in the grass, that it sort of just have it tucked back in there. It'll sort of blend with all the green. And so that's why that's really why I didn't have any recommendations. I thought it sort of just tucked back in that little corner there. It blended well.
Yeah, I kind of second that. It's nice that it's a neutral color. It's nice that it's metal because that'll make it last longer. It's just, I mean, it does what it has to do. It's a utilitarian building, and there's really no reason to try to fancy it up too much and make it more complicated than it has to be.
Did I understand also there's no like gravel to it, no pathway? It doesn't seem like there's a walk or anything like that. It's staying pretty simple, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am, that's correct. We didn't include a walkway going from the driveway or from the road going back to the gravel building.
All right. Any other comments? Doesn't seem to be it. So thank you all very much. And y'all don't have to stay on the call unless you really want to hear about Bellevue Neighborhood Center. But just to let you know, this will go before the full CAC at their May 26th meeting. And that attendance of that meeting is not required, but is encouraged. This is a very simple design. Typically, the CAC members follow in line with the TAPR members. So, but just to let you know, that's the next step in the process. After that, that'll be it, and I'll write a memo since this is your first time going through the process. But thank you all for bringing this forward. We appreciate it.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. It's been very helpful.
And we'll go on to the Bellevue Recreation Center. Right. So the Bellevue Recreation Center is located in southeast Winston. This is Interstate 40 right here. The Clemensville exits sort of right off the screen here. You have Thomasville Road to the east. You got Old Lexington, which is off the map here to the west, and Sprague Street is to the north. And this is the site right here. I'll zoom out to the buildings. Entrance into the park and to the rec center is off of Burgundy Street here. And it has a small recreation center building, which is about 3,500 square feet. And then you have a ball court right here, a playground, and then a small shelter down here towards Moravia. And this is the recreation center right here. It was built in the 80s and it hasn't had really any improvements since then. This is the area north of the ball court and the recreation center. And again, just another shot, and right past those trees is the baseball fields. This is the covered ball court that's behind the recreation center. And it's just a shot of the parking area. This is the site plan. Parking will remain the same. Access to the park will remain the same as an add alternate. There is in the plans to repave and restripe this parking area. This is the original building right here. That will remain. And then we add a new 8,000 square foot gymnasium to the north of the building. And this is the ball court, which will remain, which will sort of serve a different purpose. And then the playground and then the shelter to remain. I'll just show you, they are going to remove some trees, but they will be adding back 6 redbud trees and then a variety of shrubs. Here's a floor plan. Here's the main lobby here. The atrium will remain and it sort of be centered, and then they'll have classrooms and spaces for the SOAR program that the city runs, and then new restroom facilities with an add alternate to expand more restroom facilities up here, ball court, and then the covered basketball court will be sort of fenced in and then become a work area for the program. So renderings here, see the overhangs will be removed, and then parapet basically will be created to essentially address issues with people getting on top of the roof. We'll have a new covered canopy in here. The building materials will be essentially reskinning the existing concrete masonry unit with a metal panels in blue-gray alternating. And this area here will be extended to allow for the new signage. This is the gymnasium. This is the north side of the building. It will be 8,000 square feet. Like I said, this will be brick. And then you have a blue grayish color composite siding, windows, and then they'll have another story here basically for natural light. And they'll have the mural wall on the north side. This is the existing basketball court, which will still remain, and we'll sort of switch purposes to a work area. And this is a no climb fence that will go around the area for security purposes with new Bellevue signage on it. And this is just another shot. Basically, this is looking from essentially the playground area north at the building. And staff didn't have any comments about this one either. So I will open it up for any commentary, anything you like to add.
I have a question, and it might just be renderings, and I understand renderings sometimes it's hard to make them look what you want them to look. But so it looks like you're covering the windows of the existing, like the little upper story area for the existing building. Is that the case, or is it just because the rendering makes it look white?
You mean, are you speaking of the atrium space there?
Yeah.
So what we're actually proposing to do is take out the window that is in there and the entire wall of that atrium and replace it with cowl wall paneling, with translucent insulated panel. So that would allow a lot of the filtered light into the space, but it will, be better for heating and cooling the space, and it won't be any direct sunlight then. It would just be diffused.
Yeah, definitely. I like that idea. I do like the feature being able to allow light in. So Calwell will do a good job there. And I like the use of metal panels for the siding. I think that's great. I kind of would like to see it, even if it's not the whole skin, kind of repeated in the newer gymnasium, just so that it doesn't feel like a complete add-on. It's always nice to bring something to kind of tie it back in. And I love the idea of that mosaic or the mural that you have there. Overall, I think it's nice. And I like the use of bringing natural daylight even in the newer version with the upper clerestory. So I think that's a good design.
Thank you. Yeah, the gym is all northern light, which is going to be the most ideal light to kind of get into the space.
Yeah.
We have looked at and on the cement board siding on the gym of an option that would kind of, it wouldn't look the same as the metal paneling, but it would be a multicolored scheme as well. But the paneling would be horizontal instead of vertical. And just to kind of break that up and, like you said, try to tie the two together. It really comes down to some costing concerns. The metal paneling obviously is going to be a little more expensive than the hardy board kind of siding material. And with that siding material, we were hoping to kind of tie that mass back into the surrounding community, with more of a residential material.
Have you considered just how close it is to the sidewalk? I'm looking at my own images on my other screen. That, for example, mowing, if rocks are going to hit that metal panel, how will that hold up to dents, or with people being nearby to accidentally hitting it? How does that metal hold up to that?
So it's a decent enough gauged metal that it doesn't dent very easily. I mean, it is possible. The other thing that we are doing, it might be kind of hard to see from just the rendering, but we are holding a space about 16 inches at the bottom as kind of a very hard surfaced area. We're trying to figure out the best for that right now. We're thinking that it's just going to be kind of like a plastered over material over the ribbed split face block that's there. That should help with any of the lower mowing stone type of things, because that's always our concern as well, is, you know, that things getting bumped into it. But the space between the building and the sidewalk will most likely get some planting type of material so that it wouldn't be necessarily a mower right up against the building.
Okay. You know, I like Salvador's comment about integrating. I wonder if at that area right next to the main door, if you wouldn't bring back some of the hardy plank there and so be able to have the metal, you know, in the areas where there's not so much traffic. And it's just a consideration in case that were, if you're looking to have to bring more of the hardy plank over to the other and vice versa, that might be a location that it might make sense. But I like the colors and I like the playfulness.
Thank you. We're trying to make it feel like it's something that just really brings some excitement back into the community, and you know, is something that can serve them well for a number of years.
Yes.
I have a question. What makes it a no climb fence?
Okay, so if I can share my screen, I will bring that up for you.
Give me 1 second.
Had that question before.
And you should be able to share your screen now.
Right. So the way regular chain link fence works is, yeah, we're probably all familiar with. What makes this the security style fencing is that the openings themselves are so small that you can't get your fingertips or bolt cutters and things of that nature in to, one, climb the fence, or two, you know, break through the fence. But because it is such a tight kind of mesh, it still allows for good visibility through the fence. It doesn't become solid wall. So it doesn't make that, it doesn't give it that caged prison kind of feel, but it does secure that outdoor work area so that they can leave projects out and not have to worry about anything happening to them overnight, over a weekend. But these are just kind of some pictures of examples that we've been looking at, and a couple different styles of that. They do an extruded mesh option and then just the wire welded type of options.
Yeah, that looks good. I really like that. And I do like the version here that you see where it's painted black, which, I mean, it's counterintuitive, but anything that you paint black kind of disappears.
Yeah, and these options are available to be painted. I think this one's just galvanized because it's electrical transformer site. I'll jump back over here. We had some of the elevations. Like I said, this is one of the options that we were looking at with the composite siding, was looking to kind of do similar type of fashion, bring a blend of colors in, and it would just kind of be a linear, you know, patterning for that, but it would kind of, relate back to that metal panel.
Yeah, that would be a really nice way to kind of bring it back without kind of blowing your budget.
Yeah.
I mean,
but just in case anybody is not familiar with them, this is that cow wall paneling. And that's what they said we're proposing in the eaves of the atrium, as well as along this northern wall of the gym.
and then my understanding is cow wall is also a lot more durable, like to impacts, correct?
Correct.
Yeah,
because it's a plastic type of material. It's a polymer. It deflect more so than pane of glass would.
Do you know how it does? Because some of your in the atrium wall, you will have some direct sunlight. Does it hold up pretty well to direct sunlight?
Yeah.
Okay.
The old cow wall of the 80s that turned yellow They've reformatted a lot of their chemical formulas that you don't see that fading and color shift in their polymers nowadays.
Okay.
And I think I actually have this is an example of those metal panels that we've actually installed, had on a project. It's slightly different because it's 2 grays and a blue rather than 2 blues and a gray. But it turned out really nice, kind of breaking up the mass of the building, but being very playful. The one thing I will note is, again, with the horizontal metal panel that we do have here on the south side of the existing space, there are some windows out of that SOAR office and the computer room that are behind these panels. And similar to the security fencing, what we're looking at utilizing there is the metal panels that have a micro perforation to them. So again, standing inside, looking out, you kind of get that unobstructed view out when you're up closer to the window and things, getting light in. But from that outside area, those windows then have an extra layer of security on them just by the nature of that metal panel being over top of them.
No, I don't really have anything else to add. I think it's a well done project. I like what you've done. I think it's a good addition, and it'll help make the center a lot more useful for the people in the area.
Thank you.
Ms. Alva, did you have anything else you'd like to add?
No, I agree. I really like the mural as well, and the use of natural light. So I think it's a good design. Thank you.
Yeah, we have been talking with the city on how that mural wall will kind of work out. We've always kind of envisioned it being something that a community artist would do. That way, again, it's something that the community can take ownership of the building. But we've talked about a couple different options, from it being a one-time thing to it being, something that could be annually, biannually, of being tied into some type of art festival that it gets refreshed every few years and a new mural would go up, things of that nature, just to kind of, give them a place to express the community. And it could be voted upon and whatnot, for contest or something. But we see that being something that really gives the community ownership of the building by having somebody being able to put a piece of themselves onto it.
It's nice.
So that design, that pattern that we're showing on is not the design we're proposing. It's just trying to show color on it, not just a big blank wall and calling it an art wall.
All right, if there's nothing else, again, the CAC meeting is Wednesday the 26th at 4 o'clock. And we will present the comments from today's meeting to that full board, and we'll go from there. Thank you.
Thank you.
Concludes the TAPR meeting for today. Everyone have a good day, unless there's anything else anyone wants to add. No? All right.
Thanks, Amy. Have a good day.
Have a good day.
Bye-bye.